Under this tab, we'll be exploring students' performance across each learning outcome. Users can choose to upload items with binary outcomes, non-binary outcomes, or both, depending on the format of their assessment. We've already gone through the data preparation in the previous tab, but let's quickly recap it here. First, make sure to separate the binary and non-binary items into two different Excel files. I recommend starting with the sample files provided here. There are two sample files for binary outcomes. You can use either one. For this demo, I'll go with the MCQ sample file. Once you open the file, you'll see that it has two sheets. In sheet 1, the first row contains the item IDs, which represent the questions. The second row holds the correct answers, but use numbers, not letters. So if the answer is A, enter 1. If it's B, enter 2, and so on. From the third row onward, enter the student's responses for each item. The second sheet is for mapping items to learning outcomes. You'll see two columns, item ID and LO. If you're using our sample file, these headers should already be there. From the second row onward, just match each item ID to its corresponding learning outcome. Make sure that the item IDs here match exactly with the ones in sheet 1. The easiest way to do this is to copy the item IDs from sheet 1 and paste them here using paste transpose. Then you can fill in the learning outcomes. Once you're done, save the file in XLSX format and upload it using the binary outcome file uploader. Since we're only uploading binary items, you may see an error for the non-binary section. Just ignore that for now. In this section, you'll see the learning outcomes and the items linked to each one. For example, in this dataset, we have two learning outcomes. You can select which learning outcome you want to analyze. Let's take the first one. There are 23 items linked to it. For our 15 students, here are their individual scores. Student 1 got 11 items correct, student 15 got 16, and so on. On average, students got 12.9 out of 23 questions right, which comes to about 56.2%. Now, let's move on to non-binary outcomes. Click here to download the sample file. As before, there are two sheets. Sheet 2 is where you define the item IDs and their associated learning outcomes. Please use this template and just update the content, don't change the headers. In sheet 1, the layout is quite similar. The first row contains the item IDs, which again must match exactly with those in sheet 2. The second row is labeled keys, but this time, instead of the correct answer, you'll enter the maximum score for each item. So if it's a short answer question worth 5 marks, you'll type 5. The rows below are the student scores. You can change the student names as needed. If your test includes only non-binary items, you can upload just this file. But if you have both binary and non-binary items, you'll need to upload both files. Just make sure the student IDs match across both files. Let's go ahead and upload both. Once uploaded, you'll see the learning outcomes and corresponding item IDs, for both binary and non-binary items. Since we already looked at the binary outcome analysis earlier, we'll skip it here. For non-binary outcomes, you can set a performance cutoff. By default, it's 50%, but you can adjust it using the slider. Let's say we want to focus on the second learning outcome. You can select it here, and the system will update the analysis accordingly, for both binary and non-binary sections. In this case, there are 3 non-binary items contributing to this outcome. The default cutoff is 50%, but let's change it to 60%. You'll see the analysis updates. The cutoff score now reflects how many raw marks a student needs to meet the threshold. Based on this, 9 students meet or exceed the cutoff, while 3 do not. The average score for this outcome is 75%.